I think I'm ready. Hey everybody, it's Julie, and today I'm doing the Homeschool Mom Tag because I was tagged by Deanna from Taming the Frizz, and so I thought I would tag Heather Oliver from Perfectly Imperfect Perfection, and then the Offbeat Homesteader if you haven't already done it. Mama to 4, I'm assuming you have already done this. Nikki Schumacher, you're a homeschool mom? Have you done this yet? If not, anybody else who's a homeschooler? I feel like I'm forgetting. I know some of my friends here on YouTube aren't homeschooling yet, or maybe not homeschool, but they have like younger kids. So I'm trying to think of the ones that I've done collabs with that have older kids. Anyways, if you're watching this and you're a YouTube mom who homeschools, tag you're it. I will leave Deanna's video in the description box below, and if you do this, I will leave the questions in the description box, and then you can leave my video in your description box and tag somebody else, and that's how this works. So I wrote down the questions in my handy dandy book here. The first question is, were you homeschooled? And yes, I was homeschooled, and I just found out that Julie from Mama to 4 was homeschooled also. So that's kind of fun. I didn't realize that she was homeschooled and is a homeschooler. But I was homeschooled from kindergarten up till 12th grade, and then I took some college courses at a community college and some Christian courses online, and loved that. And I didn't have a hard time in college, you know, the whole being around people thing. It was fine. I survived. I didn't get a degree, but I went for certain classes that I wanted to take. Like accounting classes and real estate class, and I did a business law class and a QuickBooks class, certain things like that. I was kind of working towards an accounting degree and then decided it wasn't necessarily for me, but I enjoyed college. So yes, I was homeschooled, and yes, I survived college. Did you always know you were going to homeschool? Yes. Honestly, if we're going to go into this right now, I didn't think I was gonna get married until I was like 40, and I'd already had like a career and like all that kind of stuff. So I didn't think it was gonna be till later, but life was really great, and I got married at 17 and had my first kid at 20, and now I am 29, have 3 kids, and I am homeschooling them right now. So that was a very long answer, but yes, I always knew I was going to homeschool at the point when I had kids. 3 favorite homeschool books. Okay, so my first one is very torn up because you can see this, because it came from my mom. My mom gave this to me. It's Alpha Phonics. I'm not sure that it's what she used for me, but it's something that she had, and she might have used it for me, or she might have had it for like one of my younger siblings. I'm one of 4, my older brother and then 2 younger sisters. And we were all homeschooled, but this is what stuff is falling. This is what I used to teach my son to read. So it has like really simple stuff in the beginning, and then it gets all the way to like this. And we went, and then we went through all of that in like kindergarten and 1st grade. And then we started using the books by Sing, Spell, Read, and Write. They have phonetic storybooks, and so we've been going through those. Also a part of 1st grade, I think, and then 2nd grade, and then we'll be finishing them probably in 3rd grade. So I really like those. I didn't bring those with me, but they're just little storybooks, and he really likes the stories. So it's gotten so much easier now. When we first started, it was little by little by little by little, but that's built up to here. So if you're having a hard time with reading, just keep pressing on, just keep doing a little bit, and you'll get there. It will get easier. So that's my first favorite. My second fell on the floor. Hang on a second. My second favorite was this, How to Homeschool, A Practical Approach by Gail Graham. It's been a long time since I've read this, so I don't remember everything it says, but this was the book that I went to when I was planning my first year, and I was kind of like, oh, I can't do this, I can do this, I can't do this, I can do this, I can't do this. Some of these books are super old because like they came from my mom and she homeschooled me, and you know, I'm almost 28 now. I'm still 27. No. I am 28. I'm going to be 29. So some of these books are kind of old, but if I can find them on Amazon or a link for them, I will leave them in the description box. So this one, like it says, Reading Demystified. I think from what I can recall, she just talks about, you know, teaching them and having a schedule, and I don't know if she's the one I read it from, but somebody was saying that you're never going to get everything in every year, and you know, you're never going to teach them everything they ever need to know. So basically, I'll talk about this later, but it's about instilling like the abilities in them to be able to learn later, or teaching them how to learn and how to, you know, why you should want to learn, all that kind of thing. But this is very practical. It's called A Practical Approach. So this really helped me. And then my third book, I felt like saying the Bible, but I don't know if that was cheating or not, because that's not necessarily just for homeschooling, it's for all of life. But I also like these Who Was books. We read a lot of these in kindergarten, and they're just like little kids, like biography books. And one of the reasons why I like them is that they are talking about history, they're talking about culture. It just exposes them to a lot of different things in a biography, and just how different people lived, people who persevered, even though something that they were doing was not normal for the time or different or whatever. And then, you know, now we know that what they did was awesome, and we can get inspired by it. So I really love biographies for kids. So I don't know if that counts as one book, it's a whole series. But anyways, there's that. Number 4 is Are You the Only Teacher? They were talking about like spouses or tutors or something. And I am the main teacher because I'm the one home with my kids all the time. But I think that life is a teacher. Everyone's teaching my kids one thing or the other. So I think who I have my kids around is very important, because they are always learning from everyone. My husband will sit with my son and let him read to him sometimes, or he'll teach him little things about math as we're doing things. So he does, or he'll teach him like historical things. He's more into history than I am, so he'll teach my son little things about history. But for the most part, I'm the teacher. And then if we go on like a field trip, there's other people that are teaching them things. And so I think that, you know, everyone around them is teaching them something, but I'm the main teacher for the day-to-day stuff. My favorite place to buy curriculum, well, I've bought math from Amazon, and then I've purchased some curriculum from the specific distributor's website. That's for the most part where I've bought things. I did get an abacus from one of those book fairs for homeschoolers, but yeah, just kind of wherever I find them at a good price. I don't have like one specific place I'll buy everything. Do I have a set budget for my homeschool? No, not really, but basically just try to get the most value that I can for the dollar. So for kindergarten, we did a lot of reading, like I said, and we did a lot of printables. I printed off a lot of things. I think I spent basically $0 for kindergarten, as much as I can remember. And then for first grade, I bought math, and for second grade, I bought math. For first grade, I had a unit study curriculum that my mom gave me. It was a curriculum that I can use with all 3 of my kids as they get older, and it'll kind of grow with them, so I can use it 3 times for each of them as they get older. It's one of those types of things where there's 4 sets, and you go through them 3 times, and so as each kid comes in, they're each getting it 3 times, no matter when they start. And so that helped me save money. For math, for first and second grade, I'm purchasing Horizon. I'm planning to do that for my other 2 as well. But then for 3rd grade and up, I'm checking out teaching textbooks, and I'm going to see how I like that for math. And that's something that I can use for each of them as they go. So I like to purchase things that each of my kids can use, except for math. For the first 2 years, I like to have somewhere where they can write it in the book. It's just easier that way. And then as they get older, they can write it on a separate piece of paper or something like that. And it's not as big of a deal for them to copy it over. So that's how I save money, but I don't necessarily have like a set budget. I just try to buy things that I can use multiple times when possible. 2 must-have homeschool supplies. So the first thing that came to mind was an abacus. We love this for math, so you can just count on it. You can do multiplication or subtraction, division, all that kind of stuff you can do on here, and it's just an easy way to teach that without having beads all over the house. Keeping it real. This is a nice way to keep it all right there. They're not gonna fly off and go everywhere. So the first one I would say was an abacus. And then the second one, I actually asked my son about this. He's the only one that's really in school right now. He just finished 2nd grade. And he said a ruler and pencils. And I was like, yes, I think a ruler would be a good one. But I also wanted to mention this map. Because this is something that we used a lot. We used it a lot this year. As we were learning about the different continents and all that kind of bodies of water and all that. So this is what I would really say that we used the most this year besides the abacus. So just practically speaking, those are what we've used the most besides pencils and paper and that kind of thing. My favorite and least favorite subject to teach, I think my favorite was reading, just because it's so like easy to teach for me. I don't know. I just thought it was simple to teach him. I think my least favorite was math, just because I had to explain it all and I had to be careful not to like rush him or hold him back. Like some things he would get right away, and I didn't want to make him keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again if you already understood it. So I had to kind of gauge that. And then some things I would think that he would have right away, and he really needed more work in those areas. So that was something that was kind of like, it just took a lot of focus, and when you have 3 kids and you're trying to focus on one, it's kind of hard. So that's something that we kind of struggled through, but I think we did well. I mean, we completed it, so yay. And then next year we're going to do teaching textbooks for math, and I think that that's really going to help our routine get a little more smooth and just kind of take a little weight off of me in that one area, that I don't have to like be so focused for however long it takes. I can kind of outsource that. I guess that's me not being the main teacher in that area, but if he needs my help, I can be right there and help him. Are we a part of any co-ops or homeschool groups, and what's my experience with that? I'm not in any group that like I have to pay for, and that I have like responsibilities and I have to be committed to or anything like that. But I do like to go out with groups of people and do things as they come up and stuff. I like to have something I can be a part of, but I can still like pick and choose if I'm able. It's not something where I'm like pressured to have to go to every meeting or something like that. I'm just kind of easygoing in that way. There are some great groups out there, I know, but just the thought of like having to go to it and paying for it and having to volunteer and all that stuff, it's kind of overwhelming to me right now. Maybe as my younger 2 get a little older, specifically my youngest, he's almost 2. Once he's a little older, maybe we'll be more committed to more groups and things. But right now we're just kind of like a pick and choose and go to field trips as we can sort of deal. What is your approach? Well, I'm a homeschooler or a home educator. I've heard some people say, you start out with doing school at home and then you realize that you don't really want to be a school at home. You just want to learn at home. And that's kind of true for me. When I first started, I wouldn't say I was really a school at home, but I was really kind of regimented and like worried about not doing everything right. And I think that as you kind of go along, you realize that you're just teaching your child to love learning and to be inspired by all the things around them, and just have that attitude that they can be learning at all times. It doesn't have to be something where they're sitting down and like reading a textbook and then writing the answer in the blank. It can be, learning as they're playing And so I try to kind of just have a balanced approach. I don't really call it anything specific, but I like to have curriculum to help me so that I know I'm kind of covering the basics to kind of get them familiar with all the different types of things that they could look into further. But I do want to make sure that they're having plenty of playtime, that they're not overwhelmed, that they're not pressured and stressed and like driven to do this crazy schedule of do this, now do this, now do this, now do this, and learn, and like drilling things into their head all the time. I want them to enjoy their childhood, but also just be exposed to different things that they can learn about. And then as they want to learn about things, they can. The other day we found that there were little tunnels in our yard, and so we were talking about moles, and my son wanted to see pictures of them and stuff. So just little things like that. I mean, they can be learning every day. So I guess that's my approach. That's not really like a named approach. It's just kind of like learn structured things, but also just learn every day and enjoy learning. So that's my homeschool mom tag video. I hope it was helpful to you somehow, whether you've been homeschooling or you're thinking about homeschooling or you just started homeschooling. Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about homeschooling, I'm trying to get my mom to do videos with me. It's kind of hard because we live in different towns, kind of far away, and when we get together, time just flies. We're trying to figure out how to record online or something. But if you have any questions for a veteran homeschooler or homeschooled 4 kids all the way through, let me know. If you have any questions for me as a homeschooled kid who is homeschooling or just as a mom, let me know in the comments. If you're new, let me know so I can say hi to you. If you've just subscribed to my channel, that would be awesome. And like this video if you like homeschooling videos, because maybe I'll make more content like that. The likes really help me to determine what I want to make more content about. And it also just helps my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!